Well, hello there, beautiful family, beautiful people. Thanks for joining me today in this part 39 of this journey that we have titled The Journey. And I know it's been a while, but here we are and we continue moving forward. We are reading the books Patriarchs and Prophets, or discussing it. And we are on chapter 39. And chapter 39 is titled The Conquest of Bashan. And I gotta say, time and again, we've learned from this book that God is very patient and God is very merciful. And this particular chapter is very short. It's actually quite short, but it highlights so big, in such a big way and mighty way, that God is a God of mercy and a God of love. And that is the main theme of this particular chapter. And we got to remember, last time we were talking about the journey around Edom and basically the consequences that the Israelites had to go through because they did not trust God. We also talked about when Moses and Aaron sinned in front of God and what their punishment was, which was that they will not get to see the promised land. And now they have moved around Edom, and now they are facing yet another obstacle. They had to pass through the land of the Moabites and the lands of the Ammonites. And these particular people were descendants of Lot. And if you remember, Lot was a cousin of Abraham. And God has also promised to Lot that he will take care of, his descendants. So in this particular chapter, Israel now he has to cross through the land of Moab, or the Ammonites, but they refuse to let Israel go through. And regardless of their refusing and basically being opposed to God's plans and God's directions, God tells Israel, do not harm them, do not go to war with them, just make your way around them because they're protected people. And from the Bible, we actually know that these people were wicked people. They had pagan practices and they did not worship the God of Abraham. However, God is here showing mercy to them because of the promise that he had made to Lot many, many years ago. So we can see, again, this theme playing in the background of God is merciful and God keeps his word. Now, Israel continues to walk through the land, and now they come across the Amorites. Okay, there's a difference. Ammonites, and now they're facing the Amorites. And the Amorites, once again, Israel sends a message, Moses sends a message, hey, to the king of the Amorites, please let me pass, okay? Let me pass through your land. We will not, take from your fruits or your water. If we do, we will pay you for it. We will not deviate. We just want to cross and make our way to the promised land, to the land of Canaan. But this particular king says, no, you will not pass through my land, or I will go to war with you. And the Amorites had quite the army. They were very, very powerful people. And now they've set themselves opposed to Israel, and they actually start setting up military camps to probably intimidate Israel into going forward. And here's the beautiful part and the beautiful mercy of God at play. In this particular instance, God does say to Israel, move forward, I will deliver the Amorites in your hands. But Ellen White makes the point here, and she goes back to the Bible, to Genesis chapter 15 and verse 16. Genesis 15 and verse 16, and it says, but in the fourth generation they shall return here, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. This was 400 years earlier that God is saying, no. The Amorites have not yet filled their cup in my eyes. And this is God speaking, meaning God is giving the Amorites many, many years of opportunity to repent, more than 400 years. And as we know from the Bible, the stories of Israel, they began spreading. So people knew in the area, people knew who was Israel, that the God of Israel had delivered them, that had opened the sea for them, that what happened at Mount Sinai. They had seen time and again God working on behalf of his people Israel. And yet this king that had this kingdom that had over 400 years of opportunity to learn and, open their minds and hearts to God, to the God that has done all these wonders from the time of Egypt. They are now going opposed to God's plan, and now they're wanting to go to war with Israel. So this time God says their cup has been filled, and now he asks Moses and Israel to move forward because he will deliver the Amorites. And as we said, these were very strong people, okay? These were very powerful. They had a powerful army. They have big cities. Yet this time, for one of the first times Israel actually has faith, they move forward. And of course, God does come through for them, and God delivers the Amorites. But there's a very, very important line here that we must all remember as people of God, because Ellen White writes pertaining to that particular conquest. She talks about Moses, and it says, "The calm faith of their leader inspired the people with confidence in God. They trusted all to his omnipotent arm, and he did not fail them. Not mighty giants, nor walled cities, armed hosts, nor rocky fortresses could stand before the commandment of the Lord's host." And this is very important because we've already seen in the past when Moses lost it, what were the consequences of this. And this time Moses did not lose it. Moses acted in faith, trusted God, displayed to the people that confidence in the God of Israel, and that instead inspired, and that also inspired the people of Israel to move forward. It inspired confidence. So it is very important for us as Christians, as leaders, wherever we are, to have confidence in what we're saying, to have confidence in God, in what we're teaching and preaching, because there's other people out there looking at us, looking at you for reference, for guidance, for inspiration. And if they see you stumble, it will be much easier for them to stumble. Moses did not stumble, and Israel did move forward, and they were able to conquer, to destroy the Amorites, who had had 400 years plus of opportunities in the eyes of God. So they trust God, and God came through for them. And then Ellen White moves on and continues that they had the exact same thing then with the people of Bashan. So the kingdom of Bashan, this is right after the Amorites, similar situation. Now they have to go through the land, and the king of Bashan is saying to them, "You will not go through here." And this particular kingdom was even stronger than the Amorites. They had cities, walled cities, high cities in the mountains. And if you know from history and wars, whenever there was a city on a mountain walled, it is very hard for people to conquer the city, because you have to go through the mountains to rocky hills, and it's very easy for the guys at the top to shoot down arrows or stones or whatever versus the guys going up. So this was the kingdom of Bashan. Not to mention that they were descendants of the giants. So they were very high, mighty, strong men in fortified cities. And God once again said, "Hey, move forward. I will give the kingdom of Bashan into your hands." And indeed, this is what happened. The Israelites trusted God. Moses trusted God. They moved forward, and God delivered the kingdom of Bashan. So a few things we do learn. First, God is a merciful God. He did it with the Moabites, despite them being wicked, with the Ammonites, despite them being wicked, because he had promised Lot that he would and will give them opportunity. And that's what we see at play here. And for the Amorites, he had given over 400 years. They come and they appear for the first time in Genesis 15. And here we are, way later into the Bible. There's still wicked people, and now they're opposing the people of God. Hence, God acts on them. And I'm going to finish here this particular discussion with the way Ellen White finishes this chapter. And she says, and this is me reading, "This experience has a lesson for us. The mighty God of Israel is our God. In him we may trust, and if we obey his requirements, he will work for us in a notable manner as he did for his ancient people. Everyone who seeks to follow the path of duty will at times be assailed by doubt and unbelief. The way will sometimes be so barred by obstacles apparently insurmountable as to dishearten those who will yield to discouragement. But God is saying to such, go forward. Do your duty at any cost. The difficulties that seem so formidable, that fill your soul with dread, will vanish as you move forward in the path of obedience, humbly trusting in God. And that's how she finishes the chapter, and that's how we'll finish this discussion. My friend, my beautiful family member in Jesus, trust God. He knows best. He always has your best interest in mind, and He will move forward along with you when He asks you to do so. Listen to His voice, study the Bible, study His Word, learn from history, and move forward in faith. Like God will never fail you. God will never fail you. And everything that we've lost in this earth, He will repay it to us 1,000-fold. God bless you. Thanks for joining me today. And until next one.